up, right? It's already been 40 minutes. Can you believe it? It's 40 minutes and you're doing it. So I'm giving you a harder problem already, but you can solve this, right? Genevieve, you were saying like, how do I go through these problems? Just be very careful. Write down what is the meaning of 600 pounds? What is X? What is 14, right? And we're gonna have a word problem session, right, for the in my boot camp very soon in my 20-hour course. So meanwhile, over here, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna write down, right? 7 light bulbs are selected for inspection out of 400, right? 7 out of 400 are selected. And then you're gonna write down how many are gonna be inspected if you've got 20,000, right? So you can write down this way, right? And then what you're gonna do is you just cross multiply these two guys, right? That's a massive step here. So 20,000 times 7 is equal to 400 times X, right? Right? And then 400X, remember, to get rid of this 400, all you got to do is divide by 400, right? You just divide by 400, and then you can use your calculator, but the best thing is just to cancel this out and cancel this guy out, right? And then this goes with 50, right? 4 50s are 4 times 50 is 200, and 50 times 7 is 104, right? So 50 times 7 is 350, right? So that is why B is the correct answer. Wow, very good, very good. Almost there. Many of you are having difficulty. Be careful. Yes, yes. So I'm glad some of you are getting this question right. So excellent job. So what's going on over here? So if you understood this problem, let's just spend 2 minutes on this problem. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on here, guys? So there's a bridge. So all of this wording is just unnecessary. All you need is the maximum is 600, the 6,000, right? The maximum is 6,000, right? Imagine this whole thing, the maximum inside this whole piece here is, I love to draw these buckets. So you can always think about it like this, 6,000, right? Out of the 6,000 guys, right? This whole thing is 6,000. Out of the 6,000, this piece is 4,500, right? And this whole thing is 6,000, right? So this piece has to be 1,500, right? So this area, this is the 1,500 pounds remaining, right? And this 1,500 is actually filled with 14 pounds identical boxes. So you've got boxes 14 pounds here, 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 14, right? So they're saying, how many is it going to build? So let's think about it like this, right? Let's say you got 4,500 and then you have one box, right? So you're going to have, this is going to be your weight, right? If you have 2 boxes, it's going to be 14 times 2, right? If you've got, let's say, 100. So it's going to be 14 times 100, right? 14 times 100. So what's going on is because you've got 4,500 here and the total has got to be 6,000, right? The remaining maximum weight can be 1,500, right? The maximum weight can be 1,500. Now, if the maximum weight is 1,500 and each of these boxes is 14 pounds, right? So how many boxes can you fill in? So that's going to be 1,500 over 14. So watch this. Excellent, Genevieve. So you're getting there. Remember, the number of boxes, you cannot have 107.74 boxes, right? It's always going to be a round number. It's always going to be a full number. So that's what they also check. Do you understand the concept of a box? A box has to be a whole number, right? So 1,500 over 14, right, is 107.1, right? But you know that X cannot be 107.1, so it's got to be less than 107.1. Okay, if it's 108, let's see what happens if it becomes 108, right? So here's what happens, guys, if it becomes 108. You've already got this weight as 4,500 of the truck and the driver, and then you add 108 times 14, right? So you're going to add 108 times 14. What happens if you have 108 times 14? You get 1512 over here, 1512, right? That makes it 1260, and that's boom, that's above 6,000 pounds, right? That is why 108 is not the right number. If you take 107, it's going to be less than that, right? Let's see how much it is, and then let's quickly move on to the next one. It's 4,500 plus 1284, right? 1284. So that makes it 847, and right over here. So that's sorry, what am I doing here? I made a mistake here. My bad. So 107 times 14, right? So 1498 is what you get. So 4500 and 1498, right? So when you add that, you get 98, 9, and 5. So this is just below this, right? That's why 107 is the correct answer, right? So well done, well done. Let's move on now to the next problem. Okay, hopefully you guys are enjoying it, right? Hopefully this is helpful for many of you, right? So let's try another problem now. Let's try this problem, guys. Okay, now this one is a kind of a ratios problem. It's kind of a rates problem. It's a mixed type of a problem, but it's okay. It's both ratios and rates. So let's see how we can do this one, okay? Okay, here it is. So try to solve this problem. Superb. Superb. Well done. Well done. Mhm. Excellent, Genevieve. Well done, Shiv. Okay. So you see how you're improving. You're pretty. Nobody's making a mistake right now, right? Because you're in the zone now. You're connected to everybody, and we are all solving these problems together, right? That's how you're learning. You're not making errors. Remember, SAT math. Sometimes people make lots of errors. I noticed at the start people were making errors. Now you're not even making those errors, right? So that's the benefit of this, right? So now take a look at all of these problems that I've got for you, right? So all of these problems are over here. Let me just show you this. This is the percent section. This is the exponents and the percent section, exponents and percents, right? So these problems are going to be all coming up. This is what we do in our boot camp, right? I explain to you the concepts behind these most important problems, and then we just work off of these. Don't waste your time, guys, looking at problems from books that are totally 5 or 6 years old. They are looking at something else. These are very recent problems over here, right? Right over here. And take a look at this percent section. Then we've got and these are the very high frequency sections, okay? So this is quadratics right over here. We just covered quadratic, I think last week was it. So here, all of these problems you should be able to solve, right? So all of these problems are good. Then we've got these problems now. And this takes the cake, okay? Linear equations, okay? Ratios and linear equations are super, super important. So let me just put it here for you. Linear equations. Now this is the mother lode of everything, okay? This linear equations, all of these problems are so important. There's 30 pages. So yeah, well, maybe there are 2 or 3 problems per page. So that's like 60 to 70 problems. You just solve these problems with me. Some of these problems we're going to solve in the upcoming sessions, right? If you join the course, and the remaining ones you can solve. And if you have any questions, right, you just tell me, right? Remember, just if you have any difficulty with this, right, if you had difficulty before, just memorize the steps, right? Because they're just might just change these problems. They just change this Alan's name to like Jenny, right? 100 miles becomes like 20 kilometers every hour, and that's it. That's what's happening. So remember the steps of how to solve all of these word problems. Genevieve, this is especially answering your question over here, right? Just understand how to do this, and these include the word problems, and then there's the function section, etc., right? So coming back to ratios over here. Okay, sorry, not this one. Okay, so we are over here. These are the real SAT practice problems, and then there's more problems. Okay, so now let's take a look at two different types of problems over here. Okay, so ratios and rates, and I've explained this step to you before. Okay, so we are gonna solve this problem over here. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm just trying to find out where the problem is. Okay, all right, let's try this problem, folks. I'm gonna post this in the box. I'm gonna post this over here. By the way, you got the answer 96. That's clear to you, right? 30-minute time slots. I think you know what to do. If you don't, just email me, right? We are running out of time as always. Always run out of time. So I gotta keep managing this stuff. Okay, so I'll get rid of this. Get rid of this and try to solve this problem now. Okay, right circular cylinder. We just did this. We just did this. I think it was Friday when I was explaining this type of a thing. The volume is pi r squared h. Okay, that's the volume. Okay, so the volume is pi r squared h. And try this problem. So see if you can solve it. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks, Pradita. Thanks, Vidya. Thanks, all of you. Thanks, Shani. Yes, thanks, Genevieve. All right, great, 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 great. All right, guys. See ya. I gotta go. Bye.